Hey, Jessica, I was just going to say that, anybody who doesn't respond, in 10, 15 seconds, then we'll just move on and try and catch them at the end. Is that okay? Stanley, you're going to give us a shout when we're live, yeah? Have fun, guys. Are we good to go, Stanley? 2 minutes. Okay.
Just processing the live feed.
Okay, it says live on the screen though, from what I can see. Nikita, perhaps you can keep an eye on Facebook and see if we're live when we're ready to go.
We are live now. We can start.
Yeah, we're live.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good evening to my colleagues here in India. Welcome to Make a Difference, the weekly global update call of Go Dharmic. To begin with some positivity, I'd request Hemal to please give the opening comments.
Thanks, Jessica. Guys, this is something new that we're starting. Namaste to all. We want GD to be a very open platform where anybody can have a deep dive into what we're working on, how we're structured, who the people are behind, who's doing the work in our organization, and also people that have been supporting us, well-wishers of our work, and are involved perhaps not so much directly, but a little bit more of a distance. So we're calling this Make a Difference. I'm going to be speaking to a number of the people on this call today and giving you an insight to those people, and Jessica will be helping by hosting and coordinating it. And hopefully you'll hear some really nice voices from people about making a difference and the work that they're doing with GD across the board. So I guess, who's up first, Jessica? Is it Dipendra?
Yes, Dipendra first.
So Dipendra is my brother in India. He's done incredible work. Dipendra, what's been happening in Ahmedabad this week?
Yeah. Thanks, Hemal. Thanks everyone to join the call. So I have two updates from India, majorly from the ground. This week we are gonna feed 1,000 families, underprivileged families, in two locations. One is in Gujarat, and second one is in Delhi NCR. Both the locations being sponsored by ST Advisors. That is a first update. Second update is we are committed to develop 900 libraries, as everybody know. Out of that, 5 locations being adopted by Futures First. Very generous of Future First. So we are also looking for the generous donors who want to dedicate the library to their loved ones, or maybe under CSR projects. So please get in touch with my team. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Brilliant. And in terms of if somebody wants to support a library or something, what's the route at the moment? What can they do?
Yeah, so they just need to get in touch with my team. So we have 900 pre-defined locations in Rajasthan. They can choose any one of predefined locations. These are the half completed libraries. There will be so much work can be done, like providing the bookshelves and the books to the community. These are the community libraries, in fact. not the children-centric as well, but also the community-based libraries. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think it would be a great thing to have those 900 perhaps on the website live, so anybody can see the 900 schools in Rajasthan that we're developing and how we're moving on. Brilliant. Thanks, Dipendra. Jessica, who's next?
Next is me.
Good. What have you been up to this week?
Well, I've been out this entire week, especially the first 3 days of the week, but I had the opportunity to visit Kenchi Dham in Nainital, something that I've heard from about a lot from my colleagues. And before that, I've also had the pleasure to hear to Krishna Das and his bhajans. So yeah, it was a fulfilling trip for me indeed. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. But while on the trip, I also had the opportunity to visit the library that we have established in Kenchi Dham at the school there. So yeah, that's one thing that I've been up to this week. Thanks.
So that's a great surprise for me, because you sent me a picture outside of the doors of Kenchi when you were there. And for me, you know, the whole mission around GD comes from probably the seeds of that place where it's love all, feed all, serve all. And then you visited the school close by as well. So how did that make you feel and connect? Like, does that make you feel that you kind of are at the root of where GD was? And how was it being around those hills?
Oh, it was a fantastic experience. And the weather was also very pleasant, very chilly from what we used. And yes, indeed, you know, aura around itself. And it really makes you think about how should you, you know, if you want to know God, you should learn to serve people. And that's what the entire philosophy is all about. And I strongly believe that the work that we do at GD also resonates with these ideologies of Maharajji, as they say, love all, feed all, serve all, and remember God. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's glad to be collected with GD that way.
Yeah, I definitely suggest anybody, you know, that we could visit that place and spend time there. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Brilliant. Thanks, Jessica. Who's next?
Next is Stani.
Oh, hey, Stani. We've had chats until 2 o'clock in the morning some days this week, and then you're off watching the cricket. So perhaps a bit of an update about what we've been discussing recently and how we're going to try and increase productivity across the organization. You're on mute, Stani.
Sorry. Yeah. So right now we have, as in the internal staff, which is working through and through just for GD, we have a lot of interns and newcomers coming in. So we have, like, Hemal and I are trying to devise a new methodology to, you know, manage these group of people that we have, because all of them are like really young, working for all such great noble causes. And we want to help them also to grow professionally. So we are trying to, you know, now mentor them and guide them and manage them, and to increase the productivity which is expected out of all of these newcomers that we have.
So Stanley, what would you say to some of the senior members of our community in Godhame, what they can do for the younger members, the newer interns and graduates? What would you say to some of the elder guys who have got great business, life, work experience that they could do?
Yeah, so that exactly is what I also spoke with you on the call the other day. Also, we had discussed this last Friday's meeting as well, that we can start maybe a fellowship program of sorts, where the advisory board or people who are handling businesses who are actually on ground, you know, they can maybe take up one of our newcomers, new interns. That it includes me as well, because I would also love to, you know, be a part of that fellowship program to build myself professionally. So maybe we can start a program for all of these newcomers in a way that all the professionals that we have in our GD network can get in touch with one of them and train them in a way to, you know, to progress in this field.
Absolutely. Brilliant. All right, Jessica. Thanks, Danny. Who's up next?
Azra.
Hey, Azra.
Hi.
One of our performers. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So yeah, I just worked, this week I worked on drafting a proposal for Microsoft That was mainly what I worked on. And one win which I got on Friday, just after this call, was that we were awarded £2,500 for our feeding project in London, so which I had applied for back in October. So yeah, we finally
Well done. That's incredible. That's such, at an early stage of your career, not only are you getting success with grant applications, but also lining up calls with some of the biggest organizations in the world. And I think that's incredible. And what do you think is giving you that success? Because, you don't have that experience, right? You come out of college, you're doing this thing, and you've reached Microsoft in just a few months. What would you say to some of your newer, younger colleagues who are now coming in, and when they want that, they think that maybe it's going to take 5 years of work experience before they get on a call with Microsoft? How can they do it quickly, and how do we engage some of the biggest companies in the world?
Yeah, so the only thing which I learned is that you just need to ask. So before, I used to hesitate a bit before messaging somebody from Microsoft or any big companies, but then I started just approaching them, and even if they reject, it doesn't matter actually. So yeah, that's how.
That's unbelievable. And I think, the power of asking is so crucial. And just for everyone, what we've done at Go Dharmic recently is that all of the staff members or the key volunteers and group members take an hour just to ask people around them in their networks for support with funding, support for project help, resources for food distributions, and so on. So I think the power of asking is really important and a key learning point for all of us. Great, thanks, Azra. Who's up next, Jessica?
Shivani.
Hi, Shivani. Shivani, you've been doing great. Tell me what's going on in social media.
So for this week, social media have been doing great. We have got new volunteers from our Facebook and Instagram posts. So that's a good thing. Like we need volunteers for our Wembley food distribution. So we got some of them, and might be possible they'll be joining tomorrow's feeding project. So Brilliant. That's one thing. Also, I've been working on fundraising from applying to individual donors for fundraising for our library project. So for that, I received a lead from a lady named Chanda Chaudhary. She has been associated with GD before as well. So she is interested in funding some one or two.
Chanda's an amazing supporter and incredibly skilled in social as well. So it would be great for you to speak with her at length with social media team and actually learn from her experiences. She's incredible, runs a business in Bangalore for social growth, social media growth, and so on. And I guess this conversation right now, we're streaming it live, right? We're just trying to let people know that Go Dharmic as an organization is completely transparent. Anybody can be a part of it. Anybody can join. And even today, what would you say to people who might be watching on social media now about getting volunteers, or if somebody wants to volunteer, what can they do?
If someone wants to volunteer with GD or for that matter any social cause, they just need to send a message. Like Azra said, that don't hesitate before asking. If you get a rejection, it will be an experience. So Brilliant. That's one thing.
Either send us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or download our Go Dharmic app and send us a message on there, or anyway, right? There's multiple ways. WhatsApp group, join one of the 167 WhatsApp groups around the world serving people through GD. So, doesn't matter which way, as long as we get connected and do some great stuff. Thanks, Shivani. Yeah. Who's up next, Jessica?
Nikita.
Oh, hi, Nikita. What's going on?
So this week, we have been on some training calls with Sunil and Gail, who head kind of the website tech side of GD. So we've been learning a lot about SEO, optimizing our website so that we get the most traffic and make the most of what we have available to us. So I've been working on some of the keyword optimization for our campaign pages, so we can get as much people onto the pages and we appear on the top rankings on our Google searches when people search certain topics. So yeah, I've been working on that mainly, and I have a small request for anyone who's watching or anyone on the call. We have on the 8th of March, it's International Women's Day. So we're planning on doing a huge social media campaign for that. So anybody who wants to get involved, many ways that you can. So if you want to get involved with that, then drop me an email. It's Nikita@GoDharmic. And so we're going to be planning for that next week. So please get in touch if you'd like to get involved, because we'd love to get everybody and as many people as possible involved in that.
Amazing. Thanks, Nikita.
Sahil's next.
Hey, Sahil.
Hey, Hemal. So
how's things?
Things have been good. We have been busy for last 2.5, 3 weeks working on something that is going to come up live next week. So here I am. I want to make like an announcement to it officially. As we are live, let me take that opportunity. So on 2nd of March, that is this Tuesday, the coming Tuesday, at 6 p.m. UK time, 11:30 Indian time, we are going to launch our Go Green campaign. So for last 3 weeks, we had been working extensively on making Go Dharmic Go Green. We have this amazing person from Hemal's contact, Mr. Gopal Patel. He is now our Chief Sustainability Officer, who is working with Go Dharmic to help us go green in lines of COP26. And so when we're looking at the Go Green campaigns, we have different campaigns like Go Plant-Based, Go Fuel-Free, Save and Switch. And on that call, that particular call, when we launch it, Hemal and Gopal would be talking more in detail about why it is important for us to launch it, as well as what is the line of progression after the launch, because I will rest assure everyone on the call and people who are watching it that GD is going to take it forward step by step. You're going to have recipes, you're going to have people in sports background talk about the Go Green with you live on webinars, and it's going to be exciting throughout the year. So,
I mean, you've, in my perspective, Sahil, you're taking a huge role in leading the campaigns and the environmental campaigns in particular. What would you say for the environmental campaigns is the one thing somebody can do to make a personal environmental impact, like to make it the most of a difference? How do we make a difference for the environmental campaigns? What is the one thing you think people can do?
Putting down into one thing is very difficult, but I'll say there are two things that we need to do. One is start by changing ourselves or our daily routine step by step. That is, if we know we have a lot of consumption of a particular type of product which is not nature friendly, let's cut it step by step. Maybe we can save our fuel by cycling or walking to the work. Or maybe we can just switch off our electricity, like our plugs when we are not in use. So that's one simple step that we can take. And second would be volunteer with us, join the campaigns. There are a lot of things that are going to come up in the coming weeks. If you feel you have an inclination towards environment, if you feel you want to do something on that part, you can just note my email ID, that's sahil@godharmic.com. Or like Hemal mentioned, we are on Instagram, Facebook, even on our Go Dharmic app. Just send us a query and I'll make sure that I respond and onboard you for the campaign. So looking forward.
Thanks, Sahil.
Next we have is Mayank.
Yeah, hi everyone.
What are you doing up to?
Yes. Yeah, hope you all are fine. This week, I am working on the impact analysis of the libraries that we have developed across India by contacting the principals of these schools and getting images to know the current state of our libraries and if any changes are needed in them.
Brilliant.
And the coming week, I'll be working on our ration kits distribution project in Gandhinagar, where we'll be helping over 500 families. Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I just want to quickly share that, Mayank, you've done an incredible job developing 75 schools so far. And even on our app, although, man of a few words, he's our first person to be, verified app user. So as the most responsive person and engaged person in the GD community on the app digitally, but also in the field. So I just want everybody to know that, you know, language should never be a barrier. You can just put yourself out there, keep asking, keep making a difference. And you're going from 75 schools to 900 schools is a big jump, right? 10 times. Are you ready for that challenge, Mike?
Yeah, bye.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Hey, Jessica, who's next?
Next is Heli.
Hi, Heli. Welcome to Go Dharmic. It's just been, what, 1 week now?
Yes, sir.
Great. How's things?
So it has been 10 days actually. Oh my God.
I think she's frozen.
Yep.
So it has been 10 days till now, but I think I'm getting along with the team very well, and I'm quite learning to understand what I'm supposed to do over here. So basically, in last week, I have worked upon two main things. The first is that trying to promote sustainable fashion through our Good Karma store. And so I have planned that through social media I'll be letting people make aware about what are the benefits of sustainable fashion, and how by making that tiny small decisions they can actually help save our environment, right? So I'll be working upon that, and obviously trying to get this Good Karma store online. So other than that, I have also thought to initiate a food distribution project here in Vadodara. And for that, I and Sahil got in touch, and then we have developed a poster for that. And so by next week, we'll start approaching various cafes and restaurants here in Baroda, so that they can contribute for our food distribution project. And so we can start that once it's on the line. And for that particular project, I would like to request to everyone, so if anyone wants to donate or wants to be part of that particular project, they can get in touch with me at heli@godharmic.com. So yeah, so that is what done. And
thank you so much. I think that's a lot of great stuff, and especially with the Good Karma online store, I'm really excited about how we can create a route, one for sustainable fashion and donated wedding clothing as well as other things, but also to hear from Arti and Ketan about the women entrepreneurs who produce that items from India, and then that we can sell that physically in some of the most expensive streets in London, but also online. How do we create the store that can actually sell products on behalf of vulnerable people and entrepreneurs on the ground in India? Great, thank you. Who's up next, Jessica?
Next is Swarnim.
Hi, Swarnim. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great, thank you. Great, thank you. What have you been up to?
Yeah. So this is the very first time I'm on this call, and I'm very fortunate that I am, because I really enjoyed this whole week. This is the very first time I'm here, and this whole week I really enjoyed working with the people and learning a lot. So this week was more of learning and less of working, but I hope I'll come up with things in the coming calls, and I will be able to give updates like the other people are giving. So I'm really eager for that. And for now, yes.
Well, welcome aboard, I said, and I guess thank you should just soak up as much information as you can, and as a student, a legal student, you can kind of lean on many of the other people who have experience in that field within our community, and really give you an overall work experience, so that you can also contribute to social causes as well. So thank you, appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Next we have is Devavrat, but he's having some network issues, so we'll just skip him for now till the network restores. We'll go to the next person, that's Savan Bhai.
Namaste all from Northampton, UK. Not many updates apart from A, we're going into week 7. B, the Go Dharmic magazines are going out this weekend. Everything's printed, everything's ready to go. I bought the stamps today. And third, which is a major blessing for us, is that this week, the sponsorship of the hot meals is sponsored by 4 people on behalf of Lester Charaja and Sai Krupa Healing Center under the philosophy of Shirdi Sai, Satya Sai and Ganesh Bhagwan that says love all, feed all, serve all. So we've gone right back to basics on week 7. So we're totally blessed for that.
I appreciate that. And you're doing a wonderful job in Northampton. It's unbelievable to see what's kind of growing out from there. And the fact that the magazines are going out soon as well, the whole team has done incredible hard work, like, you know, without naming anyone in particular, to put a magazine together with no skills and for it to be such of a high quality. I'm really excited for that to be sent out this week and looking forward to the next one in August when we're for our 10 years. So that's really nice for people to get an update as to what's going on across the organization. And how are things going for the food distribution for the homeless down there on the ground? Like, what's the experience and the feedback that you're getting from the homeless that you're serving in Northampton?
So basically, we've spoken to a few homeless because not only do we do it from the site, we also take the food out on the streets for people that cannot come to us for various reasons. They've come back and said it's a very viable service, you know, and it's much needed service on the Sundays. So obviously they're very appreciative. The charities that we work alongside, such as Bill Bowman, Northampton Hope Center, Amarjit Atwal Sikh Community Center, they're also very positive that, you know, we've come in, we've filled the gap, and obviously we're growing. And on average, I think, you know, we're doing about 40 meals every Sunday. You know, that also not only does include the hot lunches, but also the snack bags. And sometimes we even forward on extra snack bags to Northampton Hope for their beneficiaries. So that is also going out via GoDharmic, which is all accounted for.
Thank you so much. You're making an incredible difference. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we have Iqbal Bhai.
Hi, Iqbal Bhai. How are you? We had a few mute issues last week. I'm not sure if we'll be able to catch him again. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Ah,
Hello?
there we are. We can hear you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just a slight update. Very, very encouraging news from all over that what are you doing for GoDharmic. I have just become on board, just learning this, but I spoke to your Northampton guy, Seven, and I've given him some contacts for Luton, and he will update you when he goes and sees them for the discounted on wrestling and from them. At the moment, let's go step by step.
Yeah, so Iqbal, I had a question for you, and you know, experience of building an incredible company like TRS. What advice do you have to us as people, as a group, you know, advising us for building this organization out in today's world and the way things are, but we're trying to make a difference? What advice do you have?
I think the best thing is that the way you're working at the moment, which is the new generation forward going, which is the computers and all. When we started, with everyone on ground floor. But a second thing is what you need is a small group of people under one like 6, 7 people in each territory. So they can organize in like Leicester, Birmingham, Bradford, all these areas. You need a small group of people where they can answer to you, where they can go around to the companies, major companies, volunteering, speak to them, get their sponsorship deals or their donations. You need one-to-one touch. Once you got that on board, then you can use your computerized and you can use this. But the first is to meet people straight away. We've always done that from day one, and we've built our businesses on that side. And one-to-one touch is very important.
Yeah, and I think, Iqbal, you raised a very important point there, that technology or computers or everything is only an aid for us to connect as human beings or, you know, person-to-person interaction. So I think we always have the best touch when we talk, when we contact directly, when we are open with each other and, reach out to people, because just a messaging or email, it's not good enough. We have to really connect, and especially because has been there. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Like you're doing in India, which is fantastic job, the younger generation there. Even if you can do something in the UK, where, as I said, go to areas by area. I mean, in Northampton, you can see what they're doing in Northampton. They're on the ground and they're doing it and they're getting the outcome. Same thing we should do in Luton, we should do in selected areas. If we can get that on board, that'd be very important.
I agree. Yeah, well, I think those places, Luton, London, and other places are very active as well. Perhaps not so visible because they haven't come on the calls as often, and work timing sometimes conflict. But definitely, we'll try and reach out to them to try and share a bit more. So, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on again.
My pleasure.
And for giving us your advice and support.
Thank you,
Jessica. Who do we have
next is Aarti.
Hi, Aarti.
The Good Karma Store.
Hey, Mo. Hey, hi, everyone. Yeah, just a little update. I think we've got some relief from the government that Head and Retail hopefully is crossed on the 12th of April. So just working on working backwards on that. So I think we've just done some posters that I just sent across, just a first draft to talk about the organizations that are producing the kind of work that will go into the stores. So a little bit about the handicraft, the making of it, and the story behind it.
We're live on Facebook at the moment. We're streaming this out to everyone. It might be in London, might be around the place. What do you want to tell them regarding the store that's coming up front in Hampstead and the work that you're going to have in there?
Yeah, so the Good Karma store is specifically, I think the one that's coming in Hampstead is specifically to feature handicrafts and to feature, we're also working with an organization called Bright Sparks. So they'll have their section in there, which is all furniture as well. So it's a home store catered to the area that it's in, but it also features a lot of work that's done, a lot of handicraft work that's done by a certain region that comes from in India, and a lot of artwork and things like that. So people will be able to go in, buy the work, learn a little bit more about the workmanship that's gone into it, but also know that what they're buying is going towards a good cause, a larger cause to support Godhamik.
So what made you go into this? I'm fascinated to know what was your thinking, and why did you want to specifically go for women entrepreneurs in India and get their products and bring them to the UK and sell them in the market? What was the thinking behind that?
Well, we work a lot with social enterprises. They're all really small organizations that have picked a certain art and craft form, and they've given it a shape to go into the market, to give it more visibility. This could be a dying art form. For example, if I take Channapatna craft from Karnataka, it primarily was used for toy making, and the industry sort of had a bit of a decline because just toy making itself is not viable. You're going up against commercially manufactured toys. So I think that organization Varnam Craft that we work with is they've taken it to produce home decor products, to go into boxes, bottles for the kitchen. So it's just taking that art and craft form and then supporting the women and the craftsmen in Channapatna, both men and women, to then take that to a product that is marketable, that is practical, that has more that it can provide, and then there's a value to it that people see then, and yeah, it supports a cause. I mean, there's so many organizations that I can speak of. There's a charity called Aham Bhumika that works with rural women in India, and they teach them through the embroidery project. They teach them how to manufacture tote bags, to manufacture cushions, and this is all in small scale. And these are day laborers whose probably job is to work as in construction building work. So, to give them a sense of how they can sustain their communities and their themselves.
No, I think it's amazing, and I would love to get some of these stories coming through on the Good Karma store pages with Heli, and putting some of those narratives out about those people who are producing those items. Specifically, I think the human stories are really powerful and important, and we should share the stories of who's making that item and how they're benefiting through what we're selling. That's really crucial. And I just saw a message from John, who's kindly been supporting all of our phone lines and the Go Dharmic powering the phone line, as well as he just said that he's happy to help with getting broadband in the stores as well, which would be a great help. So perhaps John, team can connect with you on that, and really appreciate everything you're doing for us quietly from the
with the Good Karma, with the Good Karma store, it's a two-pronged thing, isn't it? It's supporting communities back there, as well as whatever purchases they're going to support the causes that we have out here in the UK. So it comes from a very it has a good future to go. Sorry, I'm a bit.
No, and there's an incredible charity who will also be taking some space with us. So perhaps, Jessica, we can have them on next week. It would be great guests to speak with. But basically, from the Holocaust time, families that lost connection with loved ones in Belarus and other places, they help them find that connection. So they're also going to be having space inside the store in Hampstead where people can walk past and learn about, how to connect with long lost relatives and help locally in that way. So incredible cause, and really looking forward to lockdown being ended, as well as us being able to open the Good Karma store in Hampstead. Great. Thank you.
Next we have is Pambin.
Hi, Pambin.
Namaste, everybody. Absolutely amazing to hear, not just about the food and the feeding, but to hear about the libraries, the sustainability, and the ever-growing work. It is really wonderful. So here in North London, a big thank you to all the restaurants who are helping us, Two Peas, Yellow Chili, Jalaram Mandir, and a very, very big thank to Vinod Bhai, D, Arpanam, all the people on the ground who are helping to distribute the food. So as the new title for this group says, together we can make a difference. It's actually week 46 of ordering meals and passing them on for distribution, coming up to almost a year of doing all this.
Already you've been helping with Go Dharmic and being involved in since we started all that work. So really happy. And maybe you could say a word or two, just came to my mind. Jay Luca, who kind of cooks so many meals in tell me something. He always hides in the background, so perhaps you could share a little bit about Jay Bhai.
And Nisha Bhai have been with us since day one, and they have been amazing. Right at the beginning, they were cooking as much as 1,000 meals plus per week, not taking anything, no ingredients, nothing, and they were there all the time. They have never refused, apart from when a couple of staff caught COVID. Is the only time they politely, reluctantly refuse to say, sorry, we can't cook anything for you this week. But otherwise, every time we say, look, sorry, can we increase by this much? They have been just amazing. And even feedback, when you turn around and say, look, a little bit salty or a little bit oily, do you mind if we don't make it so spicy? Ever so accommodating. So a big, big thank you to them. They've been absolute stars. And as I think Vinod Bhai on the thing, stars on the other side of doing the distribution. So great collaboration and a pleasure to work with the team.
And Pambin, I think you're going to play an instrumental role in how we can go from 10 projects to 20 projects and beyond, because there's food distribution is happening every day of the week right now. So helping to coordinate and structure that thing with your business experience as well. It's playing an incredible role. So thank you for everything that you do. Really appreciate it. And we need more. So appreciate it.
No. Brilliant work by all. Keep up the great work.
Next we have is Ajay.
Oh no, he's not allowed to talk. Ajay, you there?
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to talk. I was just
on Facebook, right? It's streaming live. And we're putting you on the What feedback have you got for Luton? How's things in Luton? Ajay is my brother, for anybody who doesn't know. Hides in the background and helps loads with Go Dharmic. So just to give a context, but doesn't normally come out in the front. So any news from Luton?
I mean, generally from what I've seen, like the guys have really pulled together and started to systemize everything. So it's really working well. There are a number of groups that I have seen, and the interactions between everyone is really coming together well. Schools especially, like, you know, the demand there is massive. So what everyone is doing, what the volunteers are doing every week, it's amazing thing to see. But yeah, I mean, it's getting stronger and stronger, and unfortunately the demand is really high there. So, you know, what they're doing in Luton and what the volunteers are doing to bring things together is amazing.
So many people won't know that the schools that are being supported, they're actually the same school that me and Ajay went to when we were kids. That school is one of the Shared Learning Trust schools. It was one of the Shared Learning Trust schools. So it is not a rich school. It's a poorer state school. But those in Luton, 46% of children are facing some form of food poverty. There's child poverty going on. So there's an incredible need there. And it's unfortunate. We'll try and get some people on from Luton to talk about the project, maybe some of the teachers, or maybe Kathy, the CEO of the Shared Learning Trust. Would be great to get on and speak perhaps next week. But they're helping, you know, 1,000+ people a week with better food supplies and better supporting those families who are going through difficult times. So I think that project in Luton, especially with the schools, is one of the most heartfelt projects we're involved in, because the teachers themselves are volunteering at a weekend to create food packs for the children that they teach during the week. And they even donate money from their salaries to support those teachers. So for me, that's really Dharma in action. Incredible stuff. Thank you. Jessica,
next is Vinod Bhai.
Hi, Vinod Bhai.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah,
namaste, everyone. I just wanted to thank everyone for being there, especially Pam Ben. Like, you know, sort of she had very kind words for us, but it all starts with her. And this week we've been concentrating more on the Wembley distribution, the street setup, and really appreciate the help we've received from some on this call and others who have, like, you know, sort of forwarded, really G'd up all the volunteers and forwarded them to us, hoping that, like, you know, so it can be more constructive. One of the things that I picked up from the call earlier was that with the Go Green project, what we would appreciate would be some guidance or somebody we could feedback information to, and ensure that, like, you know, so we're all on the same message, including, like, you know, sort of trying to give the volunteers and regular updates saying what we're doing and why, so that, again, like, you know, so when they talk to people on the street, they're saying what our own messages, what works generally for the environment and the purpose we're there for. Apart from that, as I said, like, you know, sort of, thanks very much. Everyone's been so cooperative, and yeah, it's a teamwork that does it.
So Vinod, by so far now there's 2 distributions that happen in Wembley a week. You're coordinating that, and we're streaming this live today. What would you say to somebody who's around the Wembley area and wants to volunteer with you and help to kind of improve the service of them?
We are looking at, like, you know, so say, obviously improvement in terms of presentation, resources, perhaps a location, or at least getting you've kindly said that you've got a marquee and things for us as well, which would obviously make that presence felt. There have been certain restrictions as far as, like, you know, sort of the location we've been using. There've been lots of roadworks and all sorts of things going on. A couple of times we've been there when there hasn't been any footfall. In fact, really speaking, like, so we shouldn't be upset because or disappointed because under lockdown, most of those people shouldn't be out there anyway. But let's
consider a change of location, or, you know, maybe one of the times we could try something. But from the times that I've been there as well, it's been really helpful for the people that have been receiving those meals. really heartwarming.
Yes, I think that we are in a place which is like, sort of say, discreet, and enough people know about it. So like, so there are times when we get there and people have been queuing up early, but it varies. Now the Thursday one is really speaking to take over from the fact that we haven't got a Charing Cross or London one on Thursdays, where some of our surplus stuff was going. So like, so this is to like, so to try and make use of that, because obviously like, so what we are, everything is built on is the fact that like, so we receive a lot of surplus items, and we just get them out to people the best we can.
Amazing. All right. Well, I think there's definitely amazing work going on, and it can only get better. So appreciate you coming on and sharing that, and more power to you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Jessica?
Yeah, so I've covered almost everyone who was on this call. There are certain people who have chosen to stay, to just, stay on and observe. So I respect their choice that way. So I think we are good to wrap up the call in case anyone else has any additional comments to make. Or over to you, Hemal.
No, look, I just appreciate this. Is for me, it's been a really nice call to kind of get an update. It's a bit great to put everyone on the spot and let's just broadcast it and put it open out there, and get feedback from people, request people to join us and to support Go Dharmic, to donate where possible, or to just come and be part of the community. Really, really heartfelt, and I appreciate all the hard work that everybody's doing to kind of make this all come together. As a last bit of news is that yesterday myself and Nikita had a lovely call with the Kenton Mandir community, and they want to explore setting up a distribution in Kenton soon as well. So I think something that Vinod Bhai is close to as well, a closer area, might be a really nice new project that we're exploring just there. So brilliant work. Thank you to everyone who's taken the time to watch and support. Please message us on the Go Dharmic app. That's the place we want to receive messages, so no WhatsApp. And thank you to everyone. Take care. Ram Ram. Bye, guys.
Bye.